What up? This is Coach Vassar. Thank you for being here. Welcome to OTF Audio Daily Beats. We're going to go over the workouts today for Sunday, January 12th. This will also repeat on Wednesday, January 29th. We'll do a little bit of everything and then talk about the treads itself, rower weight floor, and then the 3G. So let's get into it. So on the treadmill side, we're going to see 4 blocks. Each block, we add speed every minute. In block 1, it's flat road, and then the incline goes up each block. In the last block, you get to choose your incline. On the rower, there's no rowing until the final block. There, we're going to see the focus of low stroke rates. And then on the floor, we're going to have 3 blocks, 3 supersets. Each superset targets 1 muscle group. And then the surprise today, before we start block 2, I'll ask you to take a seat. And you'll see why. Anyways, talk about the treads. 4 blocks. Blocks 1, 2, and 3, 5 minutes each, 90-second recovery between each block. Block 4, it's 4 minutes. I'll explain more later. When we look at the tread blocks here, members choose their own start speed, and then every minute we ask them to increase the intensity. So power walkers, they choose 1% or greater on the first one. Joggers and runners, they're at flat road, of course, and they choose their own speed. With this being 5 minutes and the intention of adding to their intensity every minute, I would recommend having members start like around a base push. So maybe about 0.5 or so over their base. And that way, they have room to kind of scale back without having to go below their base if that is a struggle for them to deal with. Otherwise, maybe they hold base and they try to use that to start every block. Now, what we're going to notice here between the 3 blocks, in block 1, every minute, we're going to ask them to increase their speed by 0.1 to 0.4. In total, there'll be 4 add-ons. So minute 1, minute 2, minute 3, minute 4, and then they hold that for the final minute until they take it to a walk recovery. Block 2, 2% incline. Power walkers, they'll start 1% higher than whatever they did for block 1. So if they were at 5% in block 1, start at 6%. Now, the difference here is the speed increase window gets smaller. So they're gonna increase by about 0.1 up to 0.3 every minute. Same thing though for increases. So they'll see people add anywhere from 0.4 up to 1.2 on their speed. Block 3, we'll start at a 3% incline. Power walkers should be at least 2% higher than their base, or as their block 1. And now the window to increase is 0.1 to 0.2, so even less of an incline or speed increase. Now for these 3 blocks, people who bike and stride, the goal is to hold around a push gear the entire time. 5-minute push, that is pretty long, so I would recommend 2, maybe 3 gears for that first block. And then they'll go 1 gear higher in block 2 and another gear higher in block 3. Now block 4, this is a unique one. I'll tell you now, it is a 4-minute block, and it says it's a 4-minute build, and then below that it says 5-minute tread. That 5-minute tread is a misprint. It should actually say 3-minute tread between 1 to 4% incline, and then a 1 minute all out. Okay, so once again, 3-minute tread, 1 minute all out. That's the 4-minute block in block 4. Okay, now they get to pick, do they continue to add incline? So they did 3 last time, now they're gonna do 4, or do they scale back on the incline and maybe start at a higher speed? And in this block, we're gonna see an increase at minute 1, minute 2, and minute 3, they're hitting it all out, so it's a big increase. So minute 1, minute 2, just add 0.1, add 0.1. And then they'll go into a 1 minute all out during that final minute of the 4-minute block. Cannot say it enough to reiterate, because once again, when you look at the template, it says 5-minute tread, 1 minute all out, that's 6 minutes. That's really gonna screw you over on the timing of this, okay? I will say, guaranteed, when this workout gets posted to Reddit, that coach who leads the class, they might not tell members they could pick an incline. They might just tell them go to 4% or greater. And you might have members going, ugh, don't worry about that. You're the coach, not Reddit. So do what's on the template and coach it for your members to be successful. Now when we look at the weight floor, 3 blocks. Block 1, single leg squat into a goblet alternating forward lunge with torso rotation. Do both movements, rest, do it again. For 5 minutes, we should get about 2 to 3 rounds in. Strap single leg squat, they could reduce range of motion. What I like to have people do is while they're doing it, they squat down into the elevated foot, heel taps the floor, and then they come right back up. That's one way to kind of gauge that range of motion and reduce it. For that forward lunge, you could have people do step ups and then twist at the top, or they could do reverse lunges. Now, block 2, this is where they're gonna take a seat. We have a new movement. It's the strap lat pull down. So for this one, they're gonna start in a seated position, but also hinged forward. So as they are grabbing onto the strap, they're gonna be angled like this. And then what we're having them do is take their elbow and drive the elbow towards their hip pocket, and that's gonna pull them towards the anchor point. So essentially it kind of mimics like a pull-up at a forward angle. It'll make sense when you look at the VVA for it. It is in the exercise library, so definitely look at that video to get an understanding of it. But it's a unique way to do that lat pull down to get the most engagement of the upper back. So that's gonna be paired up with the high plank alternating low row for 8 total reps. They'll rest, do it again. Third block, 2-handed single dumbbell deadlift. So 1 heavy dumbbell, grab it at the handles, hinge and back, dropping that chest by grabbing the handle increases the range of motion. And then we have the infamous wide stance bridge. It's been a while since we've seen this movement. Talking from personal experience, it's a very awkward movement as a male with lots of females in the room. So when I set up and demonstrate this exercise, I make sure that I am facing the closest wall. My feet are towards the wall while I'm doing that. And maybe reiterate, people should be doing that as well. That way they're not facing towards a bunch of people and legs are out, if you know what I mean. It's awkward, very uncomfortable. Last time I had to coach it, I was like, this is, yeah. Anyways, there you go. Fourth block, we're gonna see single arm squat to press with 1 dumbbell for 4 reps, and then a 150 meter push row. Stroke rate is on the lower end, 22 to 24 strokes per minute. And the goal here is to complete at least 2 rounds or more. And the finisher, they're just gonna keep doing their work. Now, the thing with the single arm squat to press, dumbbell's gonna be at their side, they squat all the way down. As they come up, curl, explode, and press it up. So very powerful movement, heart rate is gonna elevate, and that's gonna carry over into that push row. So if anything, that push row might even feel somewhat of a recovery row if they are really minimal on that leg drive. So really emphasize big, strong strokes to keep heart rate elevated and similar. 22 to 24 on that stroke rate. Now when we look at the 3G for that block, or for that workout, we're gonna see 3 blocks on the treads. They'll do a 2-minute and a 3-minute tread for 4 minutes. And then the third block is anywhere from 2 to 4%, and it's a 3-minute tread into that 1 minute all out. Just like in the 2G, starting at 2%, the window is 0.1 to 0.3. For the 3% build, 0.1 to 0.2. And then for the final one, where it's member choice, add 0.1 at minute 1, minute 2. So when we look at the rowers, we're gonna have 2 blocks there. Block 1 is 4 minutes, and it's a timed build with the tread. So every minute they're looking to increase their intensity by increasing their stroke rate. So they'll start at 20 strokes per minute, and then 22, 24, and then cap out at 26. On block 2, this one's gonna be 9 minutes and 15 seconds. They'll do a 6 rep count of that single arm squat to press, and then it's a 200 meter build where every 50 meters they increase the intensity. So just like the timed base one, start at about a base push and then increase. And here we're looking to decrease split time every 50 meters. So in a perfect world, we should see split time drop by about 1 to 2 seconds, maybe 1 to 3 seconds every 50 meters. So they'll start at base push, they finish with a 50-meter all out, and they go back to their dumbbell exercise. 9.5 minutes here, so we'll probably get about 3, maybe even 4 rounds, and then they finish with a 1 minute all out. Now on the weight floor, it's the same 3 blocks, but of course for 4 minutes instead of 5 minutes. So you got the strap single leg squat with the forward lunges, the lat pull down with the plank low row, the deadlift with the wide stance bridge. So here's your 2G and 3G for that workout. As always, any feedback, please let me know. Otherwise, you guys got this. Coach it down.